All right, so welcome back to the second video. On this one, we're going to make some sounds. On this one, we're going to do some bass, some chords, a beep sound, and a drone, which is something that we didn't do before. This one is, I've added this just to be more creative, just to show you how to get that vibe. Because sometimes, you know, it's a very easy thing to do, but at the same time, it's hard because when you make a drone, you need to be creative, and that's it. So, okay, so let me just show you what we got right here. All right, so that's the vibe. Of course, we're gonna show you first what we have right here. It's just, you know, the kick, the snare, so, and the hats. Pretty simple. All right. And then it ends right there. Right. And then we get the bass. Of course, the bass sounds like crap. So this is the bass. So let me just show you the MIDI. I'm gonna go right there and just show you. Let me just make this smaller because it's just too big. I'm gonna go and do something like this, and so you can see the notes. I'm gonna go and just show you the notes. Of course, they're all 16, so that's the notes. So I'm using again a construction kit just to do this fast because I want to do a lot of this series. So, okay, and if you're wondering, you know, I like this, you know, I like what to do. Now we are not making tracks, and I just say it again. We are not making tracks. We are just making patches. That's what we are doing right here. Making tracks, it's not making patches. Because when we do the patches and it sounds kind of good, we have an idea, of what we want to build. But then there's the whole process of doing the arrangement, you know, all the mixing and, you know, all the other work that we are not doing. So this will never sound like a real or finished track, even though you're making the patch, but it doesn't matter. So always remember this on this sections, and you know, this what we are doing right now is just following the series of the OB-XA, and we are just making patches. Okay, so first we're going to start with the bass. Right from the start, super fast, we need to add a little bit of envelope right there. So I'm going to go to the OB-XA. So right from the start is bass. So we're going to go low or a little bit lower than that. I'm going to go maybe use the oscillator number 2 so we can get a little bit more frequencies. And I'm going to go and use, let's do a square. Why not? And you know what? We can sync. And we can try with syncing and without syncing and see what happens. I'm going to go and do a square right here. And right from the start, it's going to... Notice that the sync makes everything a bit together in this case. Now, you might like it, you might not. It's completely up to you. Let me just go back. All right. So right now, our main problem is the envelope. The bass sounds all over the place. So we need to make this work. First, I'm going to go to 4-pole, and I'm going to go down on the filter. I want to add a little bit of resonance. And of course, we're going to use the filter envelope because right now, again, we have 16s and we cannot even hear the difference between, you know, each note that we are playing. So this is going to be the envelope. I'm going to do not that amount of sustain, and it's already changing. Of course, the decay, and there we go, we have a bass. Let's do unison, instant magic, without sync. Sounds pretty similar. And notice right here at the bottom, this is something I didn't explain, is 1, 2, and then we can do 2, 1. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna leave it right there because I like it. I'm gonna go to spread on the pan and maybe go right there. Already sounds like a bass. And now we can hear, you know, each note that it's being played. So I'm gonna go and maybe, of course, the release. If it's too long, in this case, since everything's so fast, nothing happens. So we can even do this. And notice, we get much more body and less body. In this case, I'm going to keep the sustain low because if we add too much body, it's just going to be all over the place. Alright. Okay, so I believe we have a good sound. Let's see how it fits with the other things. Yeah, it kind of fits. Alright, so I kind of like it. Now, of course, if you want more high frequencies, you're gonna go there. Okay, so I believe it sounds fine. In the effects department, I'm not gonna do anything, but what I would like to do, I'm gonna go and add a little bit of dimension D, because a little bit of chorus on the bass makes it shine. Oh, the difference. Now, of course, maybe this is too much. I'm gonna do a little bit less of this. Instant magic. So I'm gonna go to kickstart to do a little bit of side chaining. And there we go. We have a this could be a track. You know, the verse. Just the verse. Okay, so we are done with this. I'm gonna go to the next one. The next one is gonna be the chords. And it's that vibe. Of course, we need to do something better with this. So I'm gonna go just this. I'm gonna go and open this. And right from the start, what I want to do is that, you know, old vintage kind of a key sound right there. You know, just that kind of sound. And I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go to the effects and start with the effects. What I really want to do right here is having some reverb, and I want some delay. That's what I want. I don't want to do a crazy delay. I'm just gonna do something a little bit better. And you're gonna know something just a little bit right here. And you're gonna instantly notice that it will start. It will sound better. So we don't need to do much right here. It's already on that vibe. Now, of course, we need to change something because it's pretty dull. I'm gonna keep this on 0 semitones. This one right here. I'm gonna keep a saw. And then maybe on this one, just to make it different, I'm gonna go and do a square. Of course, we need to do more. All right, I like it. Now I'm gonna do 4-pole, and I'm gonna chop frequencies. I'm gonna do a little bit of resonance, not too much of the mod. And notice that, and let me just go to that sound alone. So we cannot even hear this because we are not doing a lot of the mod. So maybe just if you have to do the mod, I'm gonna go decay. I'm gonna leave the sustain right there, and I need to do release. Now, since I do release right here, I need to add a little bit of release right here. And notice that the notes, and let me just do a little of the mod. So now the notes are kind of they have a tail. If I do short, it's we have no tail. So, alright, I'll like it a little more. Now I would like to make this a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna go there, do the stereo, and do the spread. Nice. Since I'm using a square right here, I'm gonna go and do a little bit of modulation to the square. If we had a square right here, let's see how that sounds. Still sounds very good. Well, I like it. Oh, we can do more. We can do both. Maybe do something like this. Maybe it's too much. No, I'm gonna go back. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of motion right here. I'm gonna sync it. Notice that. Maybe do a little bit of here. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do 1/8. Okay, so notice that it sounds cool, but it still sounds very dark. So we can enable tracking. So the H key we play on this chords, you know, is gonna trigger the envelope. So I'm gonna go. And now we get that, you know, the chime. Of course, it's too much, so I'm gonna go down on this one. And okay. Now, again, it's just too bright. So I'm gonna go and make a blend between the envelope and the track. Maybe a little bit release, because the notes are too long. Okay, and I like it. And we are already there. Let's just see. I'm gonna mute this, and play it. Okay. So, other things that you know, if you go to the library, through the library of this, one thing that they always do is go right here and with the velocity, go to the loudness envelope, and this one will just make it sound different. Notice I'm gonna go and do play. It's gonna make it sound louder first. It just provides, it's just a little bit different. Of course, now I'm messing with the volume. It just shines a little bit more, so I'm gonna go and keep that one. All right. So I believe the effects are cool. All right, so okay, so I'm gonna go stop, and I feel like this is fine. We are not doing vibrato, so I'm gonna go and turn that off. And I believe maybe this is okay. Maybe we can do a little bit less. Not changing much, yeah, but okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, much better. It's okay. So I feel. Of course, right now we are just building all of this with the plugins and with the effects, but I believe that this can be much better. Just adding, you know, a little bit of processing right here, like compression, you know, maybe a different reverb. Of course, we need the sidechain, so you know, let's try with the sidechain first. I'm gonna go here, bring the sidechain in, much better. But I feel like this one should be wider, so I'm gonna do the trick you always see me doing, which is this easiest trick in the book. I'm gonna go and do a delay. I'm gonna throw the one right here, and then we're gonna go none of the feedback, no cutting, all mix, you know, all 100%, and then we're gonna go down. If I play it, we get, you know, that wide sound. So now we are moving the sound to the sides. What I could do as well, it's a bit too loud. Let me just go down this one. Much better. Let's do Saturn, which is just a little bit of tape saturation. Because we have this is just, we have a lot of peaks. Notice this. Another thing we can do. Another thing we can do is just cut some of the frequencies, because right now, and maybe I'm going to do it after the saturation, because right now sometimes this is too bright and we have a lot of release, so it's occupying a lot of space. And I believe it's just sitting on top of the bass. So I'm just going to remove that from there. And this is maybe too much. And I'm going to go. Okay, I kind of like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the beep, and notice that this one, even though it's doing a tiny thing, it just gives us a different feel. And now the chords are just moving a little bit to the back, because this one is doing something else. So it's like a dance between these two. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go and open this one. And okay, so of course we always start with the default patch. So I'm going to do something simple. This is just going to be, again, just a tiny little sound. So I'm going to go here. Let me just play the damn thing. Going to go there. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit down. And what we can do right here is go 12 semitones up. Okay, I'm going to go make it like that. And you know what? I'm going to use this because we never used it so far. I'm going to do a little bit of pulse modulation. What I want to do right here is kind of that organ sound. Of course, we don't get it because everything's too short, but that's okay. You know what? That's what we want. Now, of course, I need to do some filtering. And I'm going to do the same thing that before. I'm going to be adding a little bit of this. Not too much of the mod right here. Even though, you know, what we can do, we can just disable this and just see how it works with this. Okay. We don't have a lot of frequencies. If you want something more bright, you can put it there. But remember, this one needs to work with the chords. So I'm going to go and just put it there. I'm going to do a little bit of spreading. Maybe we can do a little bit of oscillation frequency. So maybe I'm going to go and do it something fast. And I'm going to go... This is too much, of course. I'm going to do just a little bit. Alright. So I feel it's good. Let's see how it sounds in context. Right. Now this... Even though we get that organ vibe, there's something missing, and what it's missing is the effects. That's why it sounds like crap. So I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna remove this one. Maybe let me just do it and make it an overdrive, just like we did before. Just a little bit of saturation. We're gonna need to level down just a little bit. I'm gonna do a chorus on this one, and it's gonna change how it sounds. All right. And of course we need depth, because right now it's just no depth. So I'm gonna do reverb. And I'm gonna go there. Much better. Much better. We even can do a delay, just like we are doing with the other one that, you know, changes the sound. But I believe this one is just gonna do the trick. And I'm gonna go and lower the volume, because this needs to sit in the background. So the idea is that we hear this, and then we hear the beep. And whenever this is playing, we don't hear so much of the beep. Alright, so let's see how it sounds in context. There we go. So on this you know, this arrangement, let's say this is like the main thing. So if I make this again super loud, it's gonna be sit on top of the chords, and we don't want that. We never want, you know, to go all the things to go on top of what it's the main thing. In this case, if I had to choose, I'm gonna choose the chords, of course. Okay, so you know, it sounds good. Maybe we can do a little bit of cutting right here. I'm gonna go and just do play again. And notice we have something going on right here. So I'm gonna go and chop it. Maybe at 24. Maybe it's too aggressive. Let me do 12. Maybe there. And notice the peak is right here, so I don't want to mess with that. I'm gonna... And maybe a little bit there. Okay, so I feel, and this is my opinion, we are trying to do everything with the plugin. I would much prefer to use a different chorus, a different overdrive, and a different reverb. And maybe a tiny bit of delay. But again, I'm just gonna do everything with the plugin. Because it sounds good, but I believe it could sound a little bit better with some other effects. Go up on the bass. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna do the drone, and this one is gonna be fun. I'm gonna go there. Oh, and I believe, I forgot to do the side chain. Maybe on this one, the side chain is gonna be a little bit toned down. So we're gonna go maybe there and see how it sounds. Now, of course, this is not playing on the same spot that the sidechain is just doing its job. So when we turn it off, we don't see a lot of difference. Now, if I do something like this, even the volume, whenever the volume, you know, goes down and up, we are still getting the movement. And this is something that you want. Not maybe on all the tracks and all the things that you're gonna use to make a track. But this motion, this volume changing of going up and down, this tiny pumping, is what makes a track at the end of the day. And if you think about this, this is one of the things that you do with compression. Not, you know, not the side chaining, but just with compression. You add a little bit of movement to a bus, for example. In this case, the kickstart is kind of doing that for me. It's just giving me a little bit of more groove. Okay, so let's go to the drone. This one is going to be fun because I wanted to do something fun, you know, something creative. What this is just a single A. Yeah. It's okay, so we can go really crazy on this one. I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to, you know, start. Now, since this is a drone, I want this to sit at the back. So I'm going to make it low frequencies. So I'm going to keep this one. Maybe I'm going to keep this one. And I'm going to do a sync. Why not? Okay, so right from the start, this is gonna sound different, a little bit different. Oh, of course, we need to do this. And it sounds like static on a radio. Or maybe on the TV when something is wrong and you get that static. It sounds like that. But that's fine. We are going to do something. We're going to provide a little bit of movement. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to here. Maybe a little bit of movement, and let's see how this sounds, because I have no idea. And now, when the sound starts, notice it's like starting right away. Well, I don't want that. I want to add a little bit of kind of a going up whenever everything is played. So let's see how it sounds. There we go. So let me just start it again and shut up. So we get that. That's what we want right here. Oh, that's what I want right here. We're going to do no decay. And I'm going to go all the way up in the sustain because we are not playing anything. Whenever it starts, we get that sweeping motion from the filter, and then the sound will sustain as much as we want. So even though we do release, it doesn't matter. All right, so that's what we want. So okay, so I'm going to go and do unison. And there you go. I'm going to do stereo. Now, this depends on what you want to do and depends on your track. Sometimes the drone, you want to make it mono or kind of a mono-ish. Because if you make it too large, too wide, you know, to occupy a lot of frequencies, you're going to need to lower the volume because it will occupy a lot of space. In this case, I feel it's fine because we don't have a lot of things going on. So I think it's cool. Maybe it's too much. Without the sync. And with the sync, I'm doing a unison of 8. Maybe it's too much. I'm going to do, let me do 5. Let's start again. I'm going to go. Okay, I like it a little more. Because it's not that wild. Now, of course, this doesn't sound like a drone. Or it sounds like something in the back, let's say. And if I play this, it's going to give you that, you know, something it's going on right there at the back. On the lows. Now what I could do, and what we need to do, is to add a little bit of some magic right here, some movement, something else. So first of all, I'm going to go and do a reverb, just a reverb. I'm going to do a little bit of reverb. So if I play this, I'm going to disable this. Of course, all reverb. Maybe make a larger size. Cut a little bit of the highs. Oh no, I'm just gonna leave the lows. Okay, so I'm gonna do a long decay because we want a big sound right here. But the problem is that we have no movement. It's just that. So what I can do several things just to be creative. I can go and do a noise just like we did before. And we have this shape right here. I'm gonna use this shape. So if I go up, we have 1 bar, and that's the problem. But what we can do, we can go maybe not that wild, something like there, and go faster. And this again will give us movement. Same thing with this one. I'm gonna go and do maybe this. And there we go, you have a drone. So okay, I'm gonna go there. We have the X mod right here. And I'm gonna go maybe, I don't know, 40% or something like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's see what happens. Now, of course, we need movements. So I'm gonna go do something like that. Maybe it's too much. And the noise is again maybe too much, so I'm gonna go and change it. And there you go, you get movement without dull. With this, a bit more interesting. Of course, you can change the wave and draw whatever is it you want to do. And maybe we can do something else. I'm gonna go and do the filter frequency, and we can do the same thing. Of course, this is failing because we need something else. So in this case, what we can do, we can go even crazier. Right. So without, dumb. With this, interesting. Now this depends, of course, what you want to do on the track. Maybe you don't need the filter because it's gonna do 16 notes, and we already have the bass doing that. So, any context? Right. Without? With? Much better, right? And even though this is very low. Okay, so we need a little bit of side chaining right here. Even though we already have a lot of movement, we can, skip the side chaining, but let's see how it sounds. You know what? I'm gonna go there. Why not? Okay. Without, it's missing something. All right. So that's it. That's a drone. Of course, there are a million things you can do right here. You can even just grab a drone, make this type of sound, remove the movement, and then just merge this with a different clip that is doing something similar on the same key at least. And then you just compress, you blend everything, you put the same everything on the same reverb, and you add the side change to create this movement, and you get a different drone. Right. Alright, so that's it. We are done in this video. So hopefully you have fun. You learned something. Oh, actually not learn. Maybe you did some practicing. And remember, this is a video which is part of a series where we learn how to use everything that we are doing, all the OB-XA. So of course, check the videos if you didn't check them already. And remember, of course, to subscribe, to like, and to check the Patreon, because in Patreon, I'm going to give you a ton of resources, like the patches that we are doing right here. Maybe, just maybe, I'm not sure, I'm going to put the project so you can get the project. So I'm going to start putting things on the Patreon account. So when you, of course, make a, let's say, donation, or you contribute to the channel, you always can get something in return. Not just, doing a contribution. Right? So, okay. So, see you on the next one.